Today we're going to be using our Photoshop skills to create Christmas gifts for our friends and loved ones by making their dreams come true and featuring them on the front page of the New York Times. So I know that Sierra at our school loves Avatar, and I thought it'd be pretty cool if I created a fake headline that showed him starring in the sequel. So I sort of took this image, I sandwiched him between Sam Worthington, like so, by copying and pasting this image right here and layering it on top. I created a compelling and simple heading: Brooklyn teacher stars in Avatar 2. So we've got the headline, I've got a subheading, and I've got a lot of text at the bottom. You might look at all this text and say, wow, Mr. Drozden, I can't write all this. I'm glad to say that you don't have to. I actually took this text from an original article I found on the internet on this subject matter, on the sequel of Avatar, and then I just added a little bit here and there to individualize it, to personalize it, to make it about Sierra. What you see in red is everything that I added. So let's make one together. So here is the original template. First step I'm going to do is I'm going to double click on the layers palette by unlocking the background layer. I'm going to use the magic wand, and I can see that contiguous is checked. I'm going to select the white box and press delete. Next, I need to put in a background, and I already know what I'm going to do, and you'll find out in a second. Here we've got this image of the White House. I'm going to drag the White House beneath the New York Times layer, and you know what? Sure, that looks good right there. Next, here I've got this image of Obama. I've already extracted him from the background, so I'm simply going to drag him right here. He's a little big, so I'm going to press Control T. I'm going to click what we call a paperclip, reduce this to, we'll try 66%, and sure, that looks pretty good right there. This project I'm going to make for a student. Last week we went to Manhattan, Midtown. Here we've got a few from students in Times Square. I'm going to copy this image of Justin. I'm going to press Control T to reduce his size. That looks good right there. I'm going to press check. I'm going to press Control T once more. I'm going to flip him horizontally, and I'm going to put -100. Press check. Alternatively, I think I could have got an image and then rotate canvas and then flip canvas horizontals. Oh, you know what? That's the whole canvas. So yeah, I am going to do it this way. Control T. We're going to do -100. Tremendous. So what's happening here? I'm going to have Obama bestowing a Medal of Science and Technology onto Justin, and you know what? To make Obama and Justin stand out a little bit more, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the White House layer, and I'm just going to drop the opacity just a little bit. And to make that a little bit more obvious, I'm going to create a new layer beneath the White House layer, and use the paint bucket. There you go. So here's the White House at 100%, and what I'll do is drop it down to, let's make it like, say, 88%. Okay. There we go. Okay, so right there. So now Justin and Obama stand out a little bit more than they did before. So what should the heading be? I'm going to use the type tool, and I'm going to make sure that the type layer is above the New York Times layer. Make sure the text is black, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to press Control A to select everything. I can see that Times New Roman is the font we're using. Excellent. But I can see that it's regular. We're going to change it to bold. And we can play around with this heading, this headline, Obama praises for we'll do technology and innovation. I'm going to press Control A and I'm going to center align this rather than left align. Great, that looks pretty cool right there. You know, I'm going to add one more thing. To make this metal really jump out, I'm going to press F7. I'm going to click on the Obama layer. I'm going to use the the marquee tool. I'm going to select this right here. I'm going to press Control C, Control V, and I can see that we've got now a duplicate of just the metal. I'm going to go to Layer, Layer Style, and let's give it a little outer glow. I'll move it up here, spread, the size, nice, and I'm going to increase the opacity just a little bit more. Nice. So now that metal is just a little bit more obvious. It's not too, it's subtle enough. Okay, great. Now, I notice in the the bottom half of this image is blank. Where are we going to get the text? So I went online and I found 2 articles that were relevant. I googled Obama metal and technology. I've got one article from Huffington Post. I got another one from the White House. So here's what I'm going to do, and you guys are going to do this too. You're going to find articles that are relevant, maybe 1 or 2, and then you're going to minimize it. You're then going to, I would recommend on the desktop because you can probably just delete this later. You're going to right click, you're going to go to New, and then you're going to go to Text Document. And the reason we're doing that is because, let's say, we're going to paste text in there, but we want to get rid of sort of the rich formatting. So, for example, if I'm going to highlight this right here, and I press Control C, and I go into an email, you can see that all the rich formatting is still there, including hyperlinks and images like that. Whereas if we use this notepad and I press Control V, all that's left is the text. Great. So let's go back to this article. We'll start with the White House. I can see that it says Washington, D.C. Today at a ceremony at the White House, President Obama honored the recipients of the National Medal of Science and National Medal of Technology and Innovation, the highest honors bestowed by the United States government and scientists, engineers, and inventors. In addition, the President announced additional steps that will help convert more ideas from America's universities, research labs, and companies into new products, expanding our economy, and creating 21st century jobs. So what I'm going to do is, I like that, and I definitely want to include that in this article, so I'm going to press Control C after I highlight it. I'm going to paste it in here. I'm going to change the format, change the font to size 14. Make it a little bit smaller. Great, I like 12. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through it and I'm going to tweak it to make it relevant to this particular assignment. So I can see that it says blah blah blah, the highest honors bestowed by the United States government on scientists, engineers, and inventors. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of inventors. So it says the highest honors bestowed by the U.S. government on scientists, engineers, and we'll say graphic designers. Why not? And we'll say including one outstanding digital artist from Brooklyn, New York. In addition, the President announced additional steps that will help convert more ideas from America's universities, research labs, and companies into new products, expanding our economy and creating 21st century jobs. And I'll say President Obama cited one young adult specifically with the hope that he would restore America to an economic powerhouse through his Photoshop skills. And then I go to the next paragraph. I'm pleased to recognize these extraordinary scientists, engineers, and inventors. We're going to change inventors to Photoshoppers for the work exploring the very frontiers of human knowledge and making our world a better place. Here's another quote, and then we're going to add to it. I want to thank Justin M., and you can write your last name or the full name of the recipient of this gift. I want to thank Justin blank for introducing his brilliant graphic design to the world. He has changed America forever, and it will never be the same. Wow, Justin, good job. President Obama loves you. So what you're going to do is you're going to go through, you're going to make a few little changes here and there. I typically recommend one sentence at the end of each paragraph. So I'm going to highlight this. You're going to pretend you went through and added a few more suggestions. Now here's what we've done all semester. You click once when you want to add text, and either you start typing. Oops, let's make this in the top layer. Click once and you just start typing, or you click once and you paste. That's what we've done so far. You know what? That's not going to work here. So what do we do and how does this work? I'm going to change the font to 12, and instead of clicking once, I'm going to click and hold down and drag from the upper left hand corner of this blank space to the bottom middle. I'm going to release. I'm going to make sure it's left aligned. I'm going to make sure that it's Times New Roman regular. We'll try 12 and we'll see what happens. Now I'm going to press Control V. I'm going to paste what we just copied. There we go. And now I can sort of change this around a little bit. And we're going to want two columns. And now this looks pretty professional. So I can see that it stops. I want to thank Justin. So what I can do is I can actually go back here. I'm going to go to where I was just a moment ago. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the rest right where we left off. And I'm going to go like this. You're going to just want to eyeball it, make sure it looks like it's even. You're going to, again, rather than clicking once and pasting, no. What we're going to do is you're going to click and drag. And if you need to move it around, you can hold spacebar. I'm going to click, drag down like this, release. I'm going to press Control V. And that looks pretty good right there. I'm going to press check. Now, we're almost done. You're going to want your article to extend down maybe a little bit more. When you're done with it, you're going to click once more. Just click, and you're going to write reporting by your name. So I'll write Andrew Drozd. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight it by pressing Control A, and I'm going to make it a little bit bigger than the rest of the text because you want the recipient of this gift to know that it's from you and people who are admiring it. So I'm going to leave it like that. And then what we can do is we can put the AUP logo right here. So I'm going to, let's see. Put this on here and you can play around with it. You guys can be creative. You are, however, going to want this project to look very professional. Definitely more than willing to help you out, of course. Now, on these two articles, on this article from the White House, there's no specific author. It's a statement in release. It's by nobody in particular. But you'll notice that on this other article featuring Sierra, it says that it's by Gabrielle Dunn and Andrew Drozd. I don't know who Gabrielle Dunn is, but I did take her article, and I definitely wanted to give her credit because obviously the majority of these words were written by her, so I'm going to include her in this citation. If you get multiple articles by Joe Smo, you're going to put reporting by Joe Smo and then your name in the lower right hand corner. Any questions, please feel free to email me at any time. Good luck.